Hello from the Oosterhout Free Library Book Bite series. I'm Miss Melissa bringing you part 2 of Elsa's Icy Rescue from Disney's Before the Story series, published, of course, by Disney, written by Kate Egan and illustrated by Mario Cortez. You might notice that I'm reading from my phone. That's because our copy of the book is checked out. So it might take me a little longer to turn the page, but our free cloud library app gives us many stories about Anna and Elsa, so I hope you'll check it out. Now, when we left off, the king was warning the girls to stay together with him for safety's sake. But this time we start off on a lighter note. Just ahead, the trail ended at a bluff. The whole family walked together until they reached the very best view in the kingdom. From the top of the bluff, they could see a wide vista of shining blue water with snow-covered mountains in the distance. The fjord was dotted with colorful boats and a few rocky islands covered in pine. Elsa took a deep breath. There was no place she would rather be. The queen scrambled down the bluff towards the water and the sandy shore, calling, "Follow me!" It was a tradition for the girls and their mother to wade in the water before the end of their first day at the summer house. Quickly, the three of them took off their shoes and dipped their feet. "Too cold," said Anna, running away from the water as soon as she felt its bite. Elsa waded in up to her ankles. She didn't mind the chill one bit. After the dip in the water, Elsa and Anna made sand angels near the shore until it was time to go back to the cottage. Their mother led the way down the trail, but stopped short. "Oh, how wonderful!" she cried, crouching in front of a bush. "Girls, come and see." She plucked fresh strawberries off the bush and dropped them into her daughter's outstretched hands. "Nature feeds our spirits and our bodies," she told Elsa and Anna. "Look, there are more," Elsa said, venturing away from the trail and into the forest. She could see many more strawberry bushes growing in the shadows, but her father put a hand on her elbow. "Remember, Elsa, we need to stay together. There could be dangers hidden in the forest." Elsa stepped back so as not to worry her father. With her power, though, came growing confidence. Whatever dangers came her way, she would always have a means to face them. That night, Elsa and Anna pushed their beds next to each other and curled up together under one big blanket. Elsa loved the cozy feeling of sleeping next to her sister. The only tricky part was the morning. At the castle, Anna could sleep all day if their parents let her. But at the summer house, no matter how late she went to bed, Anna always woke up early. She was too excited to stay asleep. So it was no surprise when Anna started tugging Elsa's arm at the faintest sign of dawn the next day. "Elsa," she whispered, "time to get up." Elsa pulled a pillow over her eyes and shrank beneath the blanket. Then she felt a gust of cold air as Anna peeled the blanket off her legs. "Want to play?" Anna asked. "I have a great idea." Elsa sat up and hit her head on the low ceiling. "It's too early," she said, rubbing her head. "But we need to make a fort," Anna explained. "I have it all figured out. I just need you to help set it up." "What do we need a fort for?" Elsa asked, yawning. "It's for Hildy and Hannah," Anna said. "They need a summer house of their own." Remember, that's their dolls. Elsa fell back on the bed. It was impossible to say no to Anna, because she would continue to ask and ask until she got what she wanted. The first ray of sunshine pierced the room as Elsa sat up again, blinking. "Where do you think we should put it?" Anna grinned and replied, "Right here." She patted the bed and gestured to a large blanket she had found that they could use for the fort's roof. Elsa dragged some chairs over and placed them on either side of the two twin beds. Anna draped the blanket on top of them, and for a minute it was perfect, until the blanket started to sag. "I think we need to tie the blanket to the chairs," Elsa said. "That way it will stay put." The girls knotted the blanket to the chairs with their hair ribbons and pulled it tight, but the knots had a way of loosening after a few minutes. Could Elsa use her magic to solve this problem? After a few moments of intense concentration, she conjured up some bits of ice and froze the blanket to the chairs. Problem solved, at least until the ice melted. "Watch out," Anna cautioned as she carried a pile of pillows across the room. From inside the fort, Elsa watched Anna stagger towards her, pillows teetering in her arms. They fell just as she reached the fort. Elsa crawled out, giggling, and took the pillows into the fort one by one. "Hannah and Hilda are going to love it in here," Elsa told her sister. But the fort wasn't only for the dolls, Elsa knew. She and Anna were going to love it in there too. And the best part was that they had all day to play. The only thing that could drag them out of the fort was the sound of their father's voice downstairs. "Time for breakfast," he called. By the time Elsa had gotten to her feet, Anna was already halfway down the stairs. Back home, the king never made breakfast. On their summer trip, though, he made pancakes every morning, and he had promised their favorite, pancakes with chocolate. The long table was set with a purple tablecloth and a vase of wildflowers from their walk the day before. There was a pitcher of cold milk and a bottle of syrup that glowed like gold. Best of all, Elsa thought, one of her mother's special plates sat at each place. Usually the plates were kept on a shelf, but they came out for important occasions, like their first breakfast together at the summer house. Each plate was a memento from their parents' travels around the kingdom. Elsa sat at the table. She picked up one of her favorite plates, painted with a crocus, and flopped a pancake on top. A crocus is a flower. No one could see the design on Anna's plate because pancakes covered every inch. They were piled high and overflowing off the edge, as Anna splashed syrup over them with such force that drops flew across the table. When she poured her milk, some of it missed the glass and ended up on the floor. "Elsa," her mother cautioned. Startled, Elsa looked up. Had her mother mixed up the sisters? Sometimes she did that, calling one by the other's name. In spite of Anna's mess, though, the queen was looking at her. "Remember where to leave your knife after you cut your pancakes," her mother said. "You should rest it on the side of your plate, not on the table." Elsa looked at Anna, who was picking up a pancake with her fingers. Did her mother even notice? "A future queen must watch her manners," the queen said. "That will be our project for today." "We already have a project for today," Anna announced. "Wait until you see our fort." The queen shook her head. "I'm afraid things will be a little different this year," she said. "Now that Elsa is getting older, we're going to keep up her lessons while we're here." Elsa swallowed her last bite, although the pancake didn't taste quite as sweet anymore. This isn't fair, she thought. Their summer trip was the only time she didn't have to think about becoming queen. What was the point of a trip with her family, Elsa wondered, if she would have to sit through all the same lessons she had at home? She wouldn't get to spend the morning playing with Anna after all. Not even her magic could change that. Anna gave Elsa a hug when she finished breakfast. "I won't play in the fort until you can come too," she promised. Her syrupy hands stuck to Elsa's hair when she pulled away. Elsa managed a small smile. "It's okay," she told her sister. "The lessons will fly by." One of the first rules of being a ruler was never to complain about ruling. But Elsa was disappointed. While her father and Anna walked to the village, Elsa and her mother settled down in two big chairs in front of the fireplace. It was sunny outside, but a chill hung over the room. The queen cleared her throat. "Let's get started by reviewing some of the material your teacher gave me to go over with you," she said, consulting a large book on her lap. "Do you remember the first 10 rulers?" Just like her routine back home, the day's lessons started with a little history. Usually, Elsa did her lessons with her governess, Miss Larson, but her mom had explained that she would be taking over Elsa's teaching while they were away. After all, her mom had taken the same lessons before she had become queen many years before, and who better to teach Elsa how to be a proper ruler than the current queen? Elsa kept her voice steady as she recited the past kings and queens. It was a long list of names, but Elsa remembered every single one. "Very good," the Queen said when she was finished. "Shall we move on to the national treasures?" Dutifully, Elsa described the national treasures of the kingdom. There were crowns and jeweled scepters, ceremonial robes, and special books that had been important to the family for centuries. "Well done," her mother said. "Soon you will be ready to visit the vault where they are kept." Elsa did not want to visit the vault. She did not want to do anything except finish this lesson. None of this was how she had imagined her time at the summer house, but she knew that complaining would only make the lessons longer. See you next Wednesday on Book Bites, and check out the rest of our video programming, Science Saturdays and First Page Fridays, and the programming we have here at the library. Bye-bye.